Hello, my name is Lenny Baglieri. For 2 years now, I've been outraged by what I'm seeing with the politics in this country. And in this political campaign season, I'm simply astounded. What has become blatantly clear, however, is that there's a vast number of Americans who are angry. Angry as hell because they feel disenfranchised, ignored, and not represented by their government. Sitting on the sidelines has made me extremely frustrated because instead of seeing things get better in the political dialogue, it has gotten much worse. Rife with character assassination, name-calling, and divisive rhetoric that separates us as a country instead of uniting us as a people. Tabloid politics instead of significant and important political discussion, sticking to the issues. So the question that's been going on in my head over and over is, how do we empower the American people to take our government back from the special interests, the huge corporate interests, and the lobbyists that pander and exercise the will of the super wealthy? How do we break that cycle? I'm going to repeat that. So the question that's been going on in my head over and over and over is, how do we empower the American people to take our government back from the special interests, huge corporate interests, and the lobbyists that pander and exercise the will of the super wealthy? How do we break that cycle? Seems daunting and impossible, but it is possible. Very possible through social media. Now, this is not a sweeping commentary. I'm sure it's not true for everyone in our country. But how many people do you know that don't have a laptop, smartphone, or tablet? We are all connected. I see the internet as the only remaining conduit to our democracy. It is unfiltered and completely expresses our interests and concerns. If you haven't noticed, in the last 40 years or so, mass media has been bought out by huge corporations. TV, radio, and now newspapers are owned by the super rich. This is no coincidence. They have figured out that controlling the message shapes public opinion and sways people to vote one way or the other. And if you don't believe this, ask this question. Why do you see Donald Trump everywhere, every day, every minute of the day? Mass media reporting is no longer balanced. It is divisive, extremely subtle, and has overt agendas for the ruling class. And that's what they're doing. They are ruling. They are ruling us and controlling every aspect of our lives. So in my opinion, we no longer live in a true democracy. We live in an oligarchy. No different than lord and serf, no different than pharaoh and slave. Now, I understand that might be unimaginable and offensive to many people in this day and age. But this is what I believe, and don't think I'm alone in these beliefs. I see such commentary often on Facebook. Over the next coming weeks and months, I'm going to release a series of YouTube videos to start a discussion with the American people that I hope make us one day rise up as one majority voice to change the political landscape. To start a political evolution, not semantically the revolution that Bernie Sanders has already started. Let's start an open forum discussion. I'm going to call on Republicans, Democrats, and independents alike to join in the conversation. Because the way I see it, we are all Americans first. I am reviled by red and blue. I am reviled by conservative and liberal labels. We are all Americans that have the same basic needs and concerns, even if they are different. A dialogue that concerns us all and will totally reject, disrespect, name-calling, and the outright vitriol that you see on the media today. This kind of reporting, this kind of dialogue weakens us as a society and as a people. It is time to wake up and not accept this kind of discussion. If you and I play into it, then that's a big part of the problem. My repeating slogan will be, expect more, demand more. Because if you do, you will get what you ask for. Demand more from our politicians. Demand and believe more from yourself, and that your voice matters. It should be an all-inclusive discussion that transcends our government to be a part of the collective whole. that benefits as many people as possible. That includes the majority of Americans, not just the upper echelons of our society. I'm going to call my segments, "This is my opinion. What do you think?" It is my hope, the objective, that the undercurrent of anger and frustration will be cemented in constructive action if we come together as a unified society and as a people. Join and stay in the conversation. Expect more. Demand more. Next time, I'm going to unveil my 4-point political plan that should spark discussion. Hopefully, some of the ideas will become the baseline for change. Join me on my Facebook page and join in on the discussion. Expect more. Demand much more. Thank you.